Listen to me. Life does not transform by accident. Life transforms by intention, discipline, and surrender. Many of you have been waiting for a breakthrough that requires your participation, your decision, your movement. For years, you have prayed for change, but your habits are still the same. For years, you have asked for elevation, but you are still entertaining the same distractions. For years, you have cried for direction. Yet you refuse to take the first step toward the path God has prepared for you. Change does not respond to wishing. Change responds to commitment. Today I stand before you to speak a truth that will set your spirit on fire. Your life can be transformed in 6 months, not 6 years, not 60 years, 6 months. But only if you are willing to obey the discipline of destiny. Only if you are ready to align your thoughts, your actions, your decisions, and your environment with where you want to go. 6 months is short, but when God breathes on your effort. Short seasons produce permanent transformation. Look at your life today. Look at the battles, the cycles, the limitations, the fears, the doubts, the habits that hold you down. Nothing changes until you confront them. Nothing shifts until you refuse to be who you were yesterday. Nothing opens until you choose to rise above the old version of yourself. 6 months of alignment can do what 10 years of wishing cannot do. But hear me clearly, transformation is not magic. Transformation is partnership. You bring your discipline, and God brings His grace. You bring your obedience, and God brings His increase. You bring your focus, and God brings His favor. When the natural and the supernatural meet, destiny opens. If you give me your attention, your humility, and your willingness to change, you will walk out of this moment different from how you walked in. You will step into the kind of clarity and conviction that makes you unstoppable, because the plan I am about to describe is not just a strategy. It is an awakening. It is a recalibration of your entire life, spirit, mind, habits, character, purpose, relationships, and assignment. 6 months. 6 months of seriousness. 6 months of separation. 6 months of sacrifice. 6 months of discipline. 6 months where you say, enough is enough. I cannot continue like this. I cannot stay small. I cannot stay distracted. I cannot stay broken. My time has come. So listen closely. If you want a transformed life, the first thing you must do in this 6-month plan is confront your truth. Not the truth people tell you. Not the truth you pretend to live. Not the truth that is comfortable. The truth that challenges you. The truth that exposes the parts of you have been avoiding. The truth that shines light on your habits, your weaknesses, your patterns, your excuses. Many people pray for transformation, but hide from the truth that leads to it. Without truth, there is no change. Without truth, there is no growth. Without truth, there is no breakthrough. Truth is the foundation of transformation. For 6 months, you must look at yourself with honesty. What is holding me back? What habits are destroying my destiny? What mindset is limiting my rise? What relationships are draining my energy? What environment is poisoning my potential? You cannot fix what you refuse to face. When truth enters, deliverance begins. The second thing in this 6-month plan is discipline. You must discipline your body, discipline your mind, discipline your time, discipline your focus. A destiny without discipline is a dream that dies. Many people want greatness, but cannot manage their time, cannot silence their distractions, cannot distance themselves from temptation. Discipline is painful, but so is regret. The difference is that discipline pays you regret punishes you. For 6 months, cut off anything that steals your focus. Limiting conversations, meaningless scrolling, toxic environments, laziness disguised as comfort, procrastination disguised as waiting for the right moment. Tell yourself, my future is too expensive for cheap habits. Discipline is the gate you must pass through to enter your next level. The third thing in this 6-month plan is to renew your mind. Your life cannot rise above your thoughts. Your life cannot expand beyond your beliefs. The mind is the battlefield where destiny is won or lost. You cannot think defeat and walk in victory. You cannot think lack and walk in abundance. You cannot think fear and walk in boldness. You cannot think small and walk in purpose. For 6 months, feed your mind daily with what strengthens your spirit. Read what challenges you. Listen to what builds you. Speak words that align with your future, not your fears. When your mind changes, your life will follow. The problem is not the mountain before you. The problem is the mind within you. Renew your mind and you renew your future. The fourth thing in this 6-month plan is to guard your circle. Your environment is a prophecy. Who you surround yourself with determines what you become. Some of you are praying for elevation while sitting among those who celebrate your stagnation. Some of you want to grow but are surrounded by people who are committed to staying the same. Your circle can either be your strength or your downfall. For 6 months, be intentional. Sit with people who challenge your thinking, people who inspire your vision, people who push you toward purpose. If your circle does not push you, your circle is limiting you. Destiny is too heavy to carry with the wrong hands around you. Choose wisely. The fifth thing in this 6-month plan is discipline of purpose. Purpose is not discovered by waiting. Purpose is discovered by movement. You must move towards something. You must act. You must build. You must create. You must take steps of faith even when you do not feel ready. Some people wait for confidence before they move, but confidence grows only after movement begins. For 6 months, work on the assignment in your heart. Start the business. Write the book. Build a habit. Develop the skill. Study the craft. Serve where you have been placed. Do not allow fear to make you bury your potential. When God gives you an idea, He expects movement. When He gives you a seed, He expects planting. Purpose does not unfold to those who wait. It unfolds to those who walk. The sixth thing in this 6-month plan is consistency. Transformation does not come from what you do once. It comes from what you do repeatedly. Anyone can be strong for a day. Anyone can be focused for a week. Anyone can be motivated for a moment. But true transformation demands consistency. Consistency separates dreamers from achievers. Consistency separates the inspired from the transformed. For 6 months, be consistent with your habits, your discipline, your routine, your purpose. When you feel like it, and when you don't feel like it. When it's convenient and when it's painful. When you see results and when you see nothing at all. Results are born in silence before they appear in public. Keep walking, keep sowing, keep building, keep praying, keep learning, keep growing. Your 6 months of consistency will produce what your inconsistency has been denying you. Now listen closely. If you obey these 6 dimensions: truth, discipline, renewing your mind, guarding your circle, pursuing purpose, and consistency, you will not recognize yourself in 6 months. You will think differently. You will walk differently. You will speak differently. You will produce differently. You will attract differently. Everything around you will begin to shift. Why? Because when you change internally, your external world has no option but to reflect it. You will discover strengths you didn't know you had. You will break habits you thought were unbreakable. You will rise above battles that once defeated you. You will walk with a peace that cannot be shaken. You will carry a confidence that does not depend on circumstances. You will attract opportunities aligned with your new identity. You will see doors open that were previously locked. Transformation is not a miracle that falls from the sky. It is a partnership between your discipline and God's divine power. God multiplies movement, not excuses. God strengthens action, not intention. God rewards consistency, not emotional motivation. When you move, heaven moves. When you commit, grace increases. When you rise, doors respond. Let me speak directly to your heart now. Some of you have been stuck for years, not because you lack potential, not because you lack talent, not because you lack calling, but because you lack discipline and direction. You cannot continue to live the same way and expect a different life. You cannot continue to entertain the same distractions and expect clarity. You cannot continue to feed the same weaknesses and expect strength. Your next level is waiting for the version of you that has yet to appear. The version that is focused, the version that is disciplined, the version that is obedient, the version that refuses excuses, the version that rises early, prays deeply, works intentionally, guards their mind, and walks with purpose. That version of you is powerful. That version of you is unstoppable. That version of you is who God designed you to be. Your life can change in 6 months if you take these 6 months seriously. Imagine where you would be if every day for 6 months you disciplined your mind, directed your energy, elevated your habits, and walked with purpose. Imagine the clarity. Imagine the strength. Imagine the progress. Imagine the peace. Imagine the authority you would carry. And let me tell you, transformation is not only about achieving goals. It is about becoming who you were called to be. It is about walking in alignment with heaven's assignment. It is about living with a spirit that cannot be shaken, a focus that cannot be distracted, and a determination that cannot be broken. 6 months is enough for God to rewrite your story. 6 months is enough to break addictions. 6 months is enough to rebuild confidence. 6 months is enough to reshape your destiny. 6 months is enough to heal your mindset. 6 months is enough to create habits that build success. 6 months is enough to activate the version of you that is meant to lead, rise, and influence. But it all begins with your decision today. Are you willing? Are you ready? Are you committed? Your future is calling you. Your purpose is calling you. The greater version of you is calling. Do not silence that voice with excuses. Do not delay that destiny with procrastination. Do not bury your potential under comfort. Rise now. Commit now. Decide now. The next 6 months will not be like the last 6 years. You will not go back to who you were. You will not repeat old cycles. You will not stay stuck. You will not stay small. You will not stay broken. This is your season of transformation. This is your moment of alignment. This is your hour of awakening. This is your 6-month plan to build a life heaven designed for you. Walk into it with boldness. Walk into it with determination. Walk into it with discipline. Walk into it with faith. Your transformation begins now. A focused 6 months can produce results that average people wait a lifetime for. Many people spend their whole lives waiting for something, that could be created in a short, intentional season. They wait for clarity, but they never discipline their mind. They wait for opportunity, but they never prepare. They wait for breakthrough, but they never commit. They wait for change, but they never confront the habits that keep them trapped. Waiting becomes a lifetime prison for those who refuse to focus. But when a person decides to invest 6 months in total focus, total separation, total discipline, and total obedience to the calling in their heart, their life begins to move at a speed that others cannot understand. Focus is a multiplier. Focus is a force. Focus compresses time. Focus causes uncommon acceleration. Focus turns months into milestones, steps into leaps, and decisions into destiny. 6 months of focus means giving your attention only to what aligns with your purpose. It means choosing what builds you over what entertains you. It means cutting off distractions that drain you, not because they are bad, but because they break your momentum. It means pruning your circle, refining your habits, sharpening your mind, and directing your energy toward what matters. When you focus for 6 months, you do not simply manage time, you master it. You do not simply hope, you build. You do not simply dream, you execute. You do not simply desire success, you prepare for the responsibility of success. Many people want the results of focus without the sacrifice focus requires. They want transformation without separation, elevation without discipline, growth without discomfort. But focus demands a price, and those who are willing to pay it walk into realms others only talk about. A focus 6 months is not ordinary time. It is consecrated time. It is time set apart. It is a season where you tell yourself, this is my turning point. This is my building season. This is my rising season. A focused 6 months means waking up early with purpose, moving through the day with intention, and going to sleep knowing that every moment of the day serves your future. It means training your mind to silence noise, redirect your thoughts, and resist the temptations that pull you away from your goals. Because distractions are destiny thieves. Comfort is a silent enemy. Laziness hides inside excuses. And procrastination is the burial ground of potential. But when you choose focus, you refuse to give your future away to these enemies. You choose to fight for your destiny. A focused 6 months transforms you mentally. Your mind becomes sharper. Your thinking becomes clearer. Your decisions become wiser. You begin to see what others cannot see. You begin to understand patterns you never noticed. You begin to connect ideas that were previously scattered. Your mind becomes disciplined. You stop feeding negativity and start feeding vision. You stop entertaining doubts and start nurturing belief. You stop allowing fear to dictate your movements. When your mind changes, your life cannot stay the same. A transformed mind creates a transformed path. A focused 6 months transforms your habits. You start doing what winners do. You wake up earlier, work with more excellence, speak with more intention, and use your time with greater wisdom. You begin to structure your day in alignment with your calling. You become consistent in prayer, consistent in study, consistent in practice, consistent in building your skills. You become someone who does not break commitments to themselves. The version of you that emerges from 6 months of disciplined habits is not the same person who started. You become stronger, more stable, more confident, more prepared, more grounded, more aligned. A focused 6 months transforms your spirit. You begin to walk with peace. You begin to hear direction more clearly. You begin to recognize the voice of truth over the voice of confusion. You begin to carry a calmness that is not shaken by circumstances. Focus creates spiritual sensitivity. It creates clarity of purpose. It removes the fog that clouds your inner life. When your spirit becomes strong, distractions lose their power. Temptations lose their attraction. Old battles lose their influence. You begin to walk in a peace that does not come from circumstances, but from alignment. A focused 6 months transforms your relationships. You begin to see who truly supports your growth and who enjoys your stagnation. You begin to recognize who respects your purpose and who drains your energy. Focus exposes people. Those who are meant for your future will honor your discipline. Those who are not meant for your future will feel threatened by your growth. When you choose focus, you automatically refine your circle. You begin to attract people of vision, people of purpose, people who sharpen you, people who elevate you, people who challenge you to rise higher. Focus aligns you with destiny helpers and distances you from destiny hinderers. A focused 6 months transforms your productivity. You begin to accomplish in days what used to take weeks. You begin to complete tasks that you have postponed for years. You begin to move with precision. You begin to execute plans that were previously trapped in your mind. You stop talking about what you want to do and start doing it. You stop waiting for the perfect time and create perfect movement. You stop planning endlessly and start producing consistently. Focus destroys the paralysis that comes from overthinking. Focus frees your energy. Focus builds momentum. A focused 6 months transforms your environment. You begin to clean your surroundings, organize your space, remove clutter, and create an atmosphere where you can grow. You realize that your environment influences your thoughts. Chaos outside creates chaos inside. When you commit to 6 months of focus, you build an environment that supports your discipline. You create routines that strengthen your spirit. You guard your space from negativity. You choose peace over noise. You choose growth over comfort. You choose alignment over distraction. A focused 6 months transforms your confidence. When you see yourself completing tasks, staying consistent, building momentum, keeping promises to yourself, rising early with intention, and pushing through resistance, you gain a level of confidence that no external validation can provide. You trust yourself. You trust your discipline. You trust your resilience. You trust your ability to create change. Confidence built through focus is unshakable because it is not based on opinion, it is based on evidence. You have proven to yourself that you can evolve, that you can change, that you can build, that you can overcome. A focused 6 months transforms your financial life. You begin managing your resources differently. You become intentional with spending. You cut off unnecessary expenses. You start saving. You start investing in your growth. You start building skills that increase your value. You discover opportunities that were invisible to you before. Focus reveals financial wisdom that distraction keeps hidden. When you stop wasting time, you stop wasting money. When you grow internally, your external prosperity begins to reflect it. A focused 6 months transforms your purpose. Your calling becomes louder. Your direction becomes clearer. You begin to understand where you are supposed to be, what you are supposed to build, who you are supposed to serve, and what you are supposed to pursue. Purpose unfolds in the presence of focus. Many people cannot hear their purpose because their life is loud with noise. But 6 months of focus quiets the unnecessary so the essential can speak. A focused 6 months transforms your energy. You begin to feel stronger. You begin to feel lighter. You begin to feel more alive. You start waking up with anticipation instead of dread. You start ending your day with fulfillment instead of regret. Focus energizes you because your spirit is no longer divided. When your energy is no longer leaking into distractions, it begins to fuel your destiny. A focused 6 months transforms your identity. You begin to detach from who you used to be and grow into who you are meant to be. You begin to break old labels, old assumptions, old limitations, old stories you told yourself about yourself. You begin to see a new version of you emerging stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more intentional, more resilient. The identity shift that happens through 6 months of focus is so deep that people who knew your old version cannot understand how you changed so fast. A focused 6 months transforms your future. You begin to create the foundation that your destiny will stand on. You begin to set standards that prevent you from falling back into old patterns. You begin to build habits that protect your progress. You begin to establish routines that carry you long after the 6 months end. Focus creates irreversible change. It creates long-term transformation. A focused 6 months separates you from average. Average people hope, focused people act. Average people procrastinate. Focused people execute. Average people wait for motivation. Focused people move with discipline. Average people complain. Focused people commit. Average people repeat cycles. Focused people break them. The difference between average and exceptional is not talent, not intelligence, not luck. It is focus. Focus sharpens your gifts. Focus multiplies your potential. Focus opens doors that talent alone cannot open. A focused 6 months creates miracles that look like hard work from the outside, but feel like destiny from the inside. People will look at your results and call them sudden, but you will know that they came from 6 months of silent sacrifice. You will know the nights you stayed awake in discipline, the mornings you rose with determination, the hours you invested, the distractions you resisted, the temptations you overcame. The world sees the results, only you know the process. A focused 6 months can shift your entire trajectory. Your life can change quietly, privately, steadily, until one day the shift becomes visible. One day your confidence surprises people. One day your progress inspires others. One day your transformation becomes undeniable. But it started with a decision to focus for 6 months